Hello, welcome to our South Suburban Midweek Moment. I am your host, Minister Dennis Foster, and you are here again for another installment of what we like to call Brother to Brother lessons on manhood, fatherhood, and brotherhood. As we are traversing the month of June, we are honoring and celebrating our fathers, and in that, we decided that it would be important for us to have some conversations just man to man amongst brothers, friends, and fathers, and the like. And so I am super honored to be here for this month with you. I'm grateful that I get the opportunity just to open up the space for conversations, transparency, vulnerability, and healing. And so I'm super excited of just getting into the conversation today. We know that this upcoming weekend to be exact, is Father's Day. And so we are looking forward to that time. And so I thought that it would be super special if we brought up somebody who is important to me, but also very much so my father. And so I would like for you guys to just welcome onto the stage my father, Deacon Dennis Foster.
Awesome.
Thank you for being a part of Brother to Brother this week. We are so excited to have you. And so just take a moment just to introduce yourself, tell us what you do for the church and all of those things.
Well, my name is Deacon Dennis Foster. Of course, I'm a deacon at South Suburban Missionary Baptist Church. Uh, I didn't, uh, when I was called to be a deacon, I wasn't called to be a deacon at South Suburban. I was called to be a deacon at Sweet Holy Spirit.
Hmm.
But later on, I transitioned to South Suburban and I took over, still transition into that role as well.
Awesome. Well, we thank you for being a part. We are so glad to have you today. And so we're just going to kind of jump right into the conversation. It should be a pretty easy one. So let's just jump straight into it. I think that we live in a world that we don't often see the representation of fathers present, even though statistics don't necessarily show the same thing. As a matter of fact, Black fathers are generally more present than any other father within any other ethnic group within our country. And so, but that's not the narrative that we see. And so, the first question for you is, why do you think it's important for fathers to be present for their children?
Well, uh, if you look at the role of the father, um, I think about good times, right? Think about how uh, James was in. If we know anything about good times, how James was in um, his children's life, uh, growing up. Uh, he steered them in the right way. Uh, there was no gangs, no playing around, no goofing off in school. You know, just being a being a father,
Hmm.
a strong figure, one that uh, wants to be better than him. And so that's how I feel. I think it's important that fathers uh, be present in the home, as well as be present in the community. Um, if you look at a lot of these youth now that doesn't have a father, or their father is in jail or whatever it may be, um, the youth now are lost. And it's up to us, men or as fathers, to be fathers to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think, especially given the work that I do, I think that it's super important for there to be male presence in a lot of young boys' lives. I think that oftentimes they're looking for guidance and direction as to how to walk out life, especially as young black men. And so I agree. I think it's super important for them, for fathers to be present in the lives of their children, but for us as individuals in general to be father figures, if we can, to those who aren't able to have, that same support. And so I think that
Definitely.
that's just definitely a great point. Um, and so thinking about that and thinking about, um, just the idea of like fatherhood, obviously it comes like with its challenges, and it comes with good parts too. And so we want to kind of talk about the rewarding parts. So, what are your favorite parts, or what are the most rewarding parts of fatherhood, you think?
Um, well, one, um, just knowing that you're able to produce life. That's one. Um, Two is the joy of giving them what they need as opposed to what they want, right? Uh, Giving them what they need, like shelter, like clothes on their backs, right? Like
Hmm.
food in their bellies, right? That's something that we should never take advantage of,
Absolutely.
right? But giving something they want, like uh, a car, right? Well, a lot of us is not uh, haven't been raised up in a car,
Yeah.
right? We've been on the bus, you know, or we walked where we had to go. We walked. So those kind of things, those things that they're wanting, is not as value as those things that they need.
Yeah. I think that that's super important. Yeah, I completely understand the idea of like needs versus wants, and that like all of our children, no matter whether they're actually our children or not, like all deserve a safe place to live, food and shelter, and support, and those kinds of things. And I think that those are um, very important. But I think it also lends to helping us to understand the importance of parents, but fathers specifically in our lives, and that fatherhood in and of itself is a selfless act. So, like
Yeah,
the idea of like your favorite or rewarding parts just shows like a level of selflessness that exists there, and I think that that's just really cool. But yeah, and so those are very much so some of the more rewarding aspects of fatherhood. But let's kind of like delve into something just a little bit more challenging. I think that oftentimes as individuals, um, especially I mean, obviously I'm not a father, so I don't understand completely what that looks like, but I do have an idea of like what it means to like go into a situation thinking one thing and then having to completely adjust like your expectations, right? And so thinking along those lines, like what are some of the thoughts or feelings about fatherhood that you had to adjust over time as you and your children grew? So like what are some of the things that like or perceptions that you have to like change in order to like make fatherhood work, right? It isn't a one size fits all narrative and any relationship in general isn't perfect. And so like there's sometimes that we have to like adjust and shift our expectations. And so what are some of those things for you?
Well, I think about I think about my son. I think about you.
Mhm.
Um, Growing up, you you're left-handed. Uh, I'm
Yep.
right, so trying to teach you right-handed was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when you're so used to left-handed,
Yep.
or you're even-handed, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much.
Yep.
But but you're more left. Uh, and so that was a daunting experience to um, to deal with, to try to get you to. I, I guess I was trying to get you to do things on my level,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to really allow you to do things on your level.
Yep.
Um, uh, and then uh, I think about me giving you your first um, right-handed glove. Remember
Mm-hmm. I do.
when you decided to just try for the baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know where that went, but giving you the opportunity to try it, uh, I, I unlike your sister,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who who tried the baseball because she really wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I told her that after she got hit with the baseball, she wanted to quit. And I told her, as a father, I told her that what my mom always told me was, whatever you start, you finish.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't give you the opportunity because you wasn't committed to it. Now, had you been committed to it, uh, then the same rule would apply to you as it applied to her,
Mm-hmm.
right? But because you didn't commit yourself to it, you tried it out, and you just figure out that's not for me.
Yeah. Well, the truth of the matter is that I didn't make the team. So there was that part of it. I did not make the team
Okay, see, I
at
didn't.
all. Yep, I was pretty good, but like I just did not make the team. The time that like I had joined, which I probably should have joined a year before, but I was just like, I don't know about that because Shalonda wanted to like play baseball and stuff like that. And after like being there as the practices with her and all the kind of stuff, I was just like, maybe I could do this. But like at the time that I joined, like it was like a lot of the older kids that were there and they were doing a lot of traveling, and so you had to be really good in order to like make the team officially. So I like went to the tryout and I did not make the team. So that's the reason why I didn't play baseball. But also too, what's interesting about the whole glove situation is that I don't know where that glove went. But also too, I got switched to a left-handed glove because they were telling me that like for pitching and that kind of thing, like it was a little bit easier for me to play the other side or whatever. So that's actually what happened. Well, all of that stuff. It was a pretty crazy time. I also remember the writing left hand and writing, trying to write with my right hand, and it was definitely a daunting task for all of us. But again, I think you mentioned something super important about like just having to meet people where they are and like adjust on to their level or the ways that they go about doing things. And I think that um, there's something beautiful and just like being able to just adjust your expectations so that you can help whoever it is move forward. And so um, I appreciate you and Mother for all of you guys' help. Last question for you, sir,
Hmm.
is a question that we are asking everybody who comes on to Brother, is what's the most important lesson you've learned as a brother, as a friend, as a mentor, and or father that you would like to share with those viewing? What's the most important thing?
Well, I think we are our brother's keeper, right? Uh, so if I see you struggling, or um, if I see your potential, or if I see that you're just um, having a hard time, I'm always going to be there, right? I'm always going to uh, take the time to encourage you. You know, if there's ever any time I can help, you know, that's that's what friends is for,
Hmm.
right? Uh, as a father, I wouldn't be your friend, right? I would be your father, uh, but I'm also your brother, right? Uh, and yes, we are our brother's keepers.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really good. I think that that's super important. Um, Great conversation. I appreciate you for joining us. Thank you for being a guest for this special installment of Brother to Brother. I appreciate you and I love you. And we thank you again for being a part.
Love you much.
All right. Thank you, everybody who has shown up today to watch Brother to Brother with us. I hope that you got something super great out of this conversation with me and my dad. Please tune in to the rest of the Brother to Brother midweek moments. Will be here on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. You can feel free to just comment, share with us some of the important lessons that you have learned. Um, and we are so grateful for just the space that we get to take up to just uplift each other. So I hope that you guys are having a great rest of your week. And I pray that the Lord would just kind of guide you through the rest of it. I love you and I thank you for being a part of this with us. Bye.